Welcome back. Let us start the same topic which we are studying earlier. Here we have finished the ray diagram of object and image formed by the concave and convex mirrors. Now let us try to understand the usage of concave mirror and that of convex mirror in our day-to-day life. There are several uses of concave mirror in our daily life. First of all, it is used to obtain the parallel beam of light when the mirror is placed in such a way that the light source we placed at its focus. See here, the headlights of the vehicles, torches, a searchlight, all these appliances or the devices are made such that they have concave reflector surface. The bulb is situated at the focus of these concave reflectors. Now, when light is on, the light rays coming from the source strike the concave reflecting surfaces, and after reflection, the reflected rays become parallel to each other. So, the light coming out of the such concave surfaces become parallel to each other, and when it is thrown ahead, they give a bright appearance on the road or any other such locations. So, next one, the concave reflector or the concave mirror can be used as a shaving mirror. During the shaving of the beard, we use generally plain mirror, but if we use the concave mirror such that our faces lies within the focal length of the mirror, then our face behaves as an object, and the position of this facial object may be between pole and focus of the mirror. In this case, the light rays coming from the faces, when strike the surface, what happens? The object forms the image of the object will be larger than the face. Means you have already studied in the sixth case of the ray diagram. What? When object is placed between pole and focus, what happens? The enlarged, erect and virtual image is formed. the same principle is used here to get the enlarged image of our face so that we can see the hairs on the face distinctly, and we can shave the beard smoothly. Means we get a clean shave. Another use of the concave mirror is by the dentist. Dentist used to have a enlarged image of the teeth cavities or any deformities in the teeth, so that he or she can have a good idea about the defects of the teeth. The same principle is used here. Means when the teeth is placed in the range of a distance between pole and focus, enlarged image will be observed, erect and enlarged image. Next important use of concave reflector or the concave mirror is to get much heat in case of solar cooker. In a solar cooker, generally plain mirror, a plain glass sheet or plain mirror is used here. So plain mirror give the parallel beam of light. Parallel beam of light, and when we use the concave reflector, all the rays reflected from the concave surface, get converged at its focus, which is inside the solar cooker. So much heat can be produced in the solar cooker because most condensed rays give rise to more infrared radiations concentrated at the same point, and the intense light provide much more heat as compared to the plain mirror. So these are the common usage of concave mirrors. Now let us come to understand or have the information about the uses of convex mirrors. What are the uses of convex mirrors? Convex mirrors have very wide field of view. Convex mirrors have wide field of view, means it covers larger surface area in front of it. So when the convex mirror is used as a rear view mirror in the vehicle by the side of the driver, a driver can visualize much more area behind the vehicle so that he or she can locate the other vehicles coming from the behind side, coming behind. So by observing the distant object widely, he can take proper decision or action as to pass the vehicles or to safe driving. So this is the main motto of the convex mirror here as a rear view mirror. Another uses of the convex mirror is that always give an erect image of the object. So it doesn't depend whether the objects are or the vehicles are near or farther. Their size remain constant, means whatever be the size of the image, it doesn't vary with variation in the distance of the object from the vehicles. That is why a safe driving is ensured in this case, so that because we always get the erect image of the person, things or the vehicles coming from the back side. So it is used to have a safe driving and good idea about the object. But one thing is here, the size of the image is always smaller than the size of the object. In case of plane mirror, there we get a very exact idea about the vehicles or anything coming from the backward side, because the image is always at the distance equal to the object in front of the mirror. But in case of convex mirror, the exact idea of the object, the distance between the vehicles and the other vehicles coming from the back side are not correct. So sometimes it may be misleading also, but in normal cases we get always a wide field of view. That is why convex mirror is used to have a larger area under the mirror, so that we can locate the things behind it easily. So these are these are the different properties of the uses, properties, or you may say uses of the convex and concave mirrors. That's all. Now let us have a conception about the sign convention. Convention means paripati. Sign convention means when we deal with the problems related to the reflection of light through concave or convex mirrors, we have to follow some standard sign conventions. By using the proper sign of the different object distance, image distance, height of the image, we have to use the proper sign before solving the numerical problem. So there are certain rules regarding this, known as sign convention. First of all, we see here, when the ray diagram is drawn, object is always placed left of the mirror, whether the mirror is convex or concave. The object must be placed left of the mirror on the principal axis. Now, second point is this: all the distances are measured with respect to the pole. See here, this is the pole of this concave mirror. This is the pole. So all the distances are measured with respect to the pole, means starting from the pole. Pole P here acts as an origin. So we should measure the distance, either the object distance or the image distance, focal length, radius of curvature, whatever be the parameters, we have to measure the quantities, optical quantities have to be measured. They must be measured with respect to the pole. Next point is all the distances measured with respect to pole to the right side of the pole, are taken positive, or you may say that the distances measured in the direction of incident rays are taken positive. In contrast to this, the distances measured in a direction opposite to the incident ray, means all the distances with respect to pole when measured in the left side, all are taken negative. So right side of the pole positive, left side of the pole negative. See here, I have just represented this sign convention with this a sketch in short, in brief. See here, next one is the distances measured above the principal axis. All the distances measured above the principal axis are taken positive. The distances measured above the principal axis are taken positive. On the other hand, the distances measured below the principal axis are taken negative. So these are the different sign conventions which we have to follow before solving or during solving the numerical problems, in which we have to put the proper sign, positive or negative, as the case may be, on solving the numerical problems. So you should follow the sign convention. You must remember the sign convention, and by using the proper sign you should solve the numerical problems or the questions. One thing is here to be considered: the quantity that is to be measured, whose value is going to be obtained by solving the problem, the sign should not be used before, during the solution or solving the problem. The sign of the quantity to be measured will automatically come after the completion of the solution. So we should not put the sign of the quantity measured. Suppose that we are given the focal length, object distance or radius of curvature, and we are asked to find the image distance of the object. image distance of the image formed by the mirror, then we should use the sign convention for only those quantities whose values are given, but we should not use the sign according to sign convention for the unknown quantity which we are going to find out. So we must keep all these things in our mind during solving the problem. So this is the basic rules regarding the sign convention. Okay, now we have to study the mirror formula. Mirror formula. What is the mirror formula? Mirror formula. A mathematical relation. What is mirror formula? A mathematical relation among the different optical quantities or the physical quantities related to the image formation by concave or convex mirror. That is the relation among the quantities like focal length, image distance and the object distance. Focal length is commonly used or denoted by a small f. Image distance is denoted by a small v, and object distance is denoted by a small u. And if sometimes radius of curvature is given, then radius of curvature is denoted by capital R. And I think you already know that radius of curvature is twice the focal length, that is R equal to 2f. We have already discussed it earlier. So let us see the mirror formula. It is represented mathematically by an equation, and that it is denoted by 1 by f equal to 1 by v plus 1 by u, or you may say 1 by u plus 1 by v equal to 1 by f. Here where u is the object distance, v is the image distance, and f the focal length, of the mirror. See here, 1 by u plus 1 by v equal to 1 by f, or you may say 1 by f equal to 1 by v plus 1 by u. So this is the mirror formula. This is known as mirror formula. This mirror formula indicates that there is a mathematical relation among object distance, image distance and focal length of the mirror. If we know any two quantities among these, the third one can be derived or obtained. Suppose we are given the magnitude of object distance, image distance, and we are asked to find the focal length. Then we can easily calculate the focal length by using this mirror formula. So any two, if f and v are given, u can be obtained. If v and u are given, f can be obtained. When f and v are given, u can be obtained. So we can use this mirror formula to get the unknown quantity if two are already given. Now let us see the magnification. What is magnification? Magnification is the magnification what does it mean? Magnification is nothing but the ratio of the image distance to the object distance. In conceptual manner, we can say that magnification is the degree of enlargement of the image as compared to the object. Means the image formed by the mirror is either larger than the object, of the same size of the object, or smaller than the object. Means how enlarged, how magnified is the image as compared to the object. This is nothing but the comparative account of the size of the image as compared to the object. Suppose that the magnification of a mirror is 1. It means what? The size of the image is equal to the size of the object. If the magnification is m, magnification is denoted by a small m. So if m is 1, the value of m means magnification is 1. It means the size of the image is equal to the size of the object. In another situation, the image may be smaller or larger than the object. So if the size of the image is smaller than the size of the object, what will be the magnification? It will always be less than 1. And if the image is magnified, means much more larger or larger, or you may say larger than the size of the object, the magnification must be more than 1. So either magnification will be 1, less than 1, or more than 1. But mathematically it can be obtained numerically by the ratio of the image size to the object size. Means the size of the image by size of the object will give you the magnification of the mirror. Means magnification is the ability of the mirror to magnify the image as compared to the object. So it is denoted by m equal to h dash by h0. H naught means size of the image by size of the object. The size is here refer to express the length of the image and length of the object. So size is expressed as a length, means how much long is the image as compared to the object. Now magnification can also be expressed in terms of the image distance and object distance. So m may also be written as the image distance by object distance. That is V by U, but a negative sign is given here before the ratio V by U. This negative sign is given to solve the numerical problem. During the derivation of this equation, the negative sign is already obtained, which can be observed when you try to derive the equation, same equation geometrically, है ना, or by the logical geometry. Means when you derive the same equation in higher classes, you will get the negative sign, and it is useful to solve the numerical problem. Without giving the negative sign here, we will get the wrong answer. So by combining these two, we can write the magnification as m equal to h dash by h equal to minus v by u. So see here, this is another equation in which if out of these four quantities, any three are given, we can find out the fourth one. So these are the different mathematical ideas regarding the mirror formula and magnification of the mirror. You can use these standard equations to solve the numerical problems regarding the mirror, concave or convex, as the case may be. The numerical problems must be solved during the study. At the last of the chapter, the numerical problems are given, some examples are also there. So you should go through the topic as well as the exercise and try to solve the problem. If you face any problem during solving the equations or any numerical questions, you may ask. Thank you very much.